evolved into what it is right now.
We used to take time between me and my cousin Jazzy J, just dig around for all the old records and just listen to certain break beats. Didn't matter what type of record it is. The whole point of it had a funky groove all together. We pick it up, we worked on it, we try and develop it for somebody, for our rappers, for any other rappers.
My name is known all over the world by other foxy ladies and the pretty girls.
Rap remained an underground scene until the shock release of Rapper's Delight by the Sugar Hill Gang. No one knew who they were or where they had come from.
So you start popping your face and then stomping your feet and moving your body while you're sitting in your seat. And then damn, they start doing the freak. I said damn, I ride it out of your seat.
Sylvia Robinson put the Sugar Hill Gang together herself.
I was at a disco in New York, and I saw these guys just talking on the microphones and music, and everybody was just going into a frenzy. And I said to myself, if I put a concept like that on record, that it would be a smash.
I'm gonna tell you a little story about the Sugar Hill Gang with the pound pound boogie and a big bang bang. And if you wanna rap to the Sugar Hill beat, gotta rap in the key of R.A.P. Now that is over.
At the time when I started to do or planned to do this rap record, people said to me, Sylvia, you don't have to stoop to that.
People that are ready to jam, screaming out and say, I am somebody.
I found one fella working in the pizza parlor on Palisades Avenue here in Englewood, New Jersey. Well, that fella in the pizza parlor, his name is, that was Big Bank Hank. Okay, another fellow was walking by with his friend. I didn't even know him. He jumped in the car and his friend said, Hank is all right, but my man's vicious. That happened to be Master G. And then I met Wonder Mike and called them the Sugar Hill Gang.
Sylvia Robinson later released the hugely influential The Message by Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five. No one realized it would be such a huge hit.
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
Broken glass everywhere. People on the stage, you know they just don't care. I can't take the smell, can't take the noise. Got no money to move out, I guess I got no choice. Rats in the front room, roaches in the back, junkies in the alley with the baseball bat. I tried to get away, but I couldn't get far, cause a man with the...
They didn't want to do that record at first, but then talking with Sylvia Robinson, Grandmaster Flash and Melly Mel and them decided to do this thing to speak about what is happening in the streets.
Lost her senses down at the peep show, watching all the creeps so she could tell her stories to the girls back home. She went to the city and got so diddy. She had to get a pimp, she couldn't make it.
Well, the Message came out about the same time when Planet Rock came out.
Planet Rock! It's the short shot!
Well, the electronic sound I always felt was going to be the music of the future. And I was heavy into groups like Yellow Magic Orchestra, Kraftwerk, and Gary Newman, as well as Hugo Montenegro and John Carpenter, who makes the Halloween movies. But I said there's no real black funk or black rock group that's doing this style of music. And we went in the studio with the 808, with the synthesizer, with the Lexicon vocoder, and put this music together with my group, the Soul Sonic Force, and thus became the birth of the Planet Rock sound.
Rap gained exposure in Midtown Manhattan through the influential and arty Soho set, who exploited this new talent with rap artists, graffiti artists, and breakdancers with gallery openings and used them to the maximum in parties in clubs like the Roxy and the Palladium.
Rock the house, let's keep alert. Not trying to say that I'm one of a kind, but I'm down with the funky floor, I'm feeling fine. Shot rock, hook, she's right on time, that's a jam. Don't stop a melody, just get on your mic. Get on your mic, turn on your mic when you're ready to rock. Check it out, y'all, you don't stop. You say I'm Jazz the Jeff, I am the best. I can make your body move from right to left. I can make your body move from left to right. I can make your body move with me all night. I'm the one MC that's proving to be the ladies' number one nominee. Cause I got a little rap in a fancy. Get down, I'm above MCs, on top of the fly. rhymes. I make MCs wanna buy. Say what? I consider myself as one of the best because I have been strong. Get down. My rhymes are slick, my rhymes are fat. Something other MCs never had. So when I start to rock, I just don't stop. Say def, rhyme, no MC can touch. Just give me a minute, you'll never forget. Just give me the hour, I'll give you the power. Just give me the death, I'll do it the best. Just give me the time, I'll keep a rhyme. Just give me a while, you'll love my style. Just give me the mic and I'll rock all night, rock the house. I'm Jazzy Jeff, I rock, shock, rock, turn it out. Shout rock, don't stop, young lady, just get on your mic. Just get on your mic, just get on your mic and rock the house right.
Let's go to work, go to work your body, work body, make sure you don't jerk your body. Do it,
Check it out.
Say do that ride to the funky side.
Come on.
Everybody is ready, do time. Get up and get down to the funky side. Everybody out there, come on and get down. Rock well. Don't stop my melody. Just get on the mic. Just get on the mic. Just get on the mic when you're ready to rock.
I was a graffiti artist, and there were several other young painters who had similar vibe. Doing this as an art form was only myself and Jean-Michel Basquiat, who's now dead, was a very close friend of mine, and he was on the same path but doing a whole different visual style. And then Keith Haring was on the set. He had another visual style but on the same tip. So we kind of merged, so to speak, around the scene that we created. Galleries began to spring up, and the main gallery was one called a Fun Gallery, which was the first gallery in the East Village. Started that whole mid-'80s East Village art boom, and we was on the top of that whole heap at the point in time. You know, became like young art stars, you know, 21, 22, just getting money, fame.
For the past 20 years, there have been no movements since pop art. Any retailer, and let's face it, the gallery is indeed a retailer, they're always looking for something hot that they can merchandise and sell to the public.
We had ABC TV, we had CBS here tonight. You know, we're going to be on the news tonight at 11 o'clock.
But I did meet a guy here who's an art critic from the news, and he says he gets so goddamn mad every time he sees this that he walked up to one of the artists at the show tonight and said, "How would you feel if I took a can and wrote on your graffiti?" And the artist said to him, "I kill you, man."
For me, it's not so much, it's something that is not limited to one particular idea of what art should be. Like it's something on canvas that's reserved for serious. There should be no rules as far as where it should be and what makes it real. So I try to break as many of those rules as possible.
Deborah Harry, Chris Stein from Blondie commissioned me to do sets for their videos at the time. I used to joke with them about that I'd like to become a legend. You know, it was like a joke. And I used to say, well, damn, Debbie, you know, why don't you make a song and put me in it? And she used to say, ah, Freddy, you know, we used to joke and stuff like that. And then they made a record called Rapture and put my name in it. And that was kind of like the first real national kind of international juice, you know, I had ever really gotten. Art represents life, excitement, you know, it's about people living. So the way we was living was like, you know, we wanted to show people how we was doing So basically, you know, when we had openings, and this was something that I brought to that situation, was I went uptown to the Bronx. Matter of fact, Bambaata's first gig downtown was a gig that I put together for him at the Mud Club, which was in conjunction with the art show that I had curated at the Mud Club, the famous downtown New York club. Bambaata came down, got inspired, Fantastic Freaks came down, Grand Wizard Theodore came down, and that was the first time when the hip-hop scene began to mix with the downtown arty hip crowd, and therefore got plugged in.
Graffiti, breakdancing, and rapping all was a unified movement, and I think rappers, they don't understand the impact of graffiti. You know, I think when a lot of rappers talk about hip-hop and so on, they just think rap, and they're sort of not completely knowledgeable of what